The film opens with chaos, immediately thrusting the audience into a world of dread and confusion. A teenage boy named Cole barges into a crowded house party, frantically searching for his younger brother, Duckett. He shoves through the drunken partygoers, not caring about their insults, eyes wild with desperation. Cole finally finds Duckett sitting alone in a bedroom, pale, disoriented, and muttering strange things. He looks almost broken, like something inside him is pulling apart. Cole tries to drag him out, telling the others that Duckett isn't well. But Duckett resists, his behavior increasingly erratic. In the struggle, Duckett suddenly stabs Cole, shocking everyone, before turning the knife on himself in front of the horrified crowd. The camera lingers on the stunned partygoers, the blood pooling, and the sense that something far darker than teenage angst is at play. We then shift to Mia, a lonely teenage girl still grieving her mother's death from suicide 2 years earlier. She lives mostly detached from her father, Max, their relationship strained and distant, and spends most of her time with her best friend Jade and Jade's younger brother Riley. Mia's father feels like a ghost in her life, and her grief is heavy, leaving her vulnerable and desperate for connection. Jade is dating Daniel, who also happens to be Mia's ex-boyfriend, adding a layer of quiet tension. Still, Mia is more focused on distracting herself than confronting her emotions, and so when Jade mentions a strange new party craze sweeping their social group, Mia is intrigued. This craze involves a mysterious embalmed ceramic hand that supposedly allows people to communicate with the dead. The rules of the game are simple but chilling. Light a candle, hold the hand, say the words, "Talk to me." And if a spirit appears, you can say, "I let you in," to allow possession. But there's a strict rule: the possession must not exceed 90 seconds, or else the spirit may stay permanently. Mia, desperate for escape from her grief, becomes fascinated. Mia convinces Jade to let her come along to a party hosted by Haley and Joss, 2 teens who own the embalmed hand. The atmosphere is rowdy and buzzing with a mix of curiosity and fear. Haley demonstrates the ritual, making it clear they've done this many times before. When the first teen holds the hand, the change is instantaneous. Their body jerks, their eyes cloud black, and an unfamiliar voice growls through them. The crowd erupts in nervous laughter and screams, both terrified and entertained. Everyone films it on their phones, the bizarre ritual treated like a dare. Mia is both terrified and drawn in, and eventually, she insists on trying it herself. She grips the cold hand, whispers, "Talk to me," and immediately sees a grotesque, drowned spirit sitting in front of her. Her breath quickens, but instead of recoiling, she whispers, "I let you in." Suddenly, her body convulses, and the spirit slips inside her. Her eyes glaze black, and her posture changes. The spirit speaks through her, mocking and taunting the others. The room is filled with nervous laughter, screams, and filming phones. But Mia seems almost entranced, like she feels alive for the first time in years. After the spirit leaves, she's exhilarated. For once, she feels connected to something, even if it's something terrifying. The game escalates. One by one, teens take turns with the hand, laughing and screaming as various spirits possess them. The mood is wild and manic, a rush of adrenaline mixed with fear. But things take a turn when Riley, the youngest of the group, begs to try. Jade and Mia insist he's too young, but Riley is relentless. In a moment of poor judgment, Mia, who feels protective of Riley like an older sister, allows him to try, thinking she'll keep the session short. Riley grips the hand, says the words, and instantly a violent spirit appears. Mia senses something is wrong. Riley isn't just seeing a random spirit. He whispers that he sees Mia's mother. Overcome with longing, Mia urges Riley to let the spirit in, hoping for a chance to connect with her mother. But the session spirals out of control. Riley convulses violently, slamming his head against the table, his eyes rolling back. He smashes his skull into the wooden edge, blood pouring down his face. The group screams in panic, trying to pull him away, but he keeps bashing his head with inhuman strength, like the spirit is controlling him. It takes several of them to restrain him as Jade sobs in terror. The scene is horrifying. Not just a party trick gone wrong, but something deeply evil that has attached itself to Riley. Riley is rushed to the hospital, his body broken and his life hanging by a thread. Jade blames Mia, furious that she ever let Riley participate. Their once close friendship fractures under the weight of guilt and grief. Mia, shaken, begins to see and hear things outside the game. She hears whispers, catches glimpses of figures in the shadows, and most hauntingly, she begins to see her mother. The visions are comforting at first. Her mother looks kind, telling Mia she loves her. But the comfort twists into something darker as the spirit manipulates Mia's grief, drawing her deeper. Haunted by guilt, Mia tries to uncover more about the embalmed hand. Haley and Joss reveal that the hand came from a medium, supposedly the severed hand of someone who could commune with the dead. But the truth is murky, and they admit they don't really know the rules beyond what's been passed down. They've seen things go bad before but shrug it off as part of the thrill. Mia, however, knows Riley's condition is no accident. She becomes obsessed with freeing him, convinced that he's still trapped by a spirit. At home, her visions intensify. Mia sees Riley tormented in the hospital, possessed by evil figures clawing at him. She hears her mother's voice soothing her, urging her to bring Riley to her, insisting that Mia can save him if she helps release his soul. Torn between what's real and what's a trick, Mia begins to unravel. She tries to tell Jade and Daniel what she's experiencing, but they pull away, frightened of her erratic behavior. Mia's father tries to reach her, attempting to talk about her mother's death, but Mia resists. In one of her visions, her mother tells her that her father is lying, that he was responsible for her suicide. This plants seeds of paranoia. Mia lashes out at her father, believing her mother's spirit is the only one telling her the truth. The line between reality and possession blurs until Mia can no longer tell what's real. One night, Mia sneaks into the hospital where Riley lies comatose. She believes she must end his suffering by killing him, convinced this is what her mother's spirit wants. She prepares to smother Riley with a pillow, her hands trembling as she cries. But Jade bursts in, horrified, and fights her off. Mia flees, heartbroken and disoriented, the voices in her head growing louder. Her visions push her further. She begins to see grotesque figures constantly, spirits lurking in mirrors and corners. Her mother whispers that Riley's soul is still trapped, that the only way to save him is to set him free. Mia clings to this belief, ignoring the pleas of those around her. Finally, she kidnaps Riley from the hospital, determined to end his life and release his soul. The climax unfolds in chaos. Mia wheels Riley through the dark hospital corridors, the voices urging her forward. She drags him toward a highway, preparing to push him into traffic to finish it. But at the last moment, something shifts inside her. She sees Jade's desperation, Riley's innocence, and realizes the spirits have been manipulating her grief all along. With one final act of defiance, she spares Riley and throws herself into the highway instead. The screen cuts to Mia's perspective as she wakes up in silence. She wanders the hospital, trying to speak to people, but no one can see or hear her. She realizes, with growing horror, that she is now dead. Drawn by a strange light, she stumbles into darkness until suddenly she finds herself in a new setting. A group of strangers are playing with the embalmed hand, chanting, "Talk to me." Mia looks down and realizes she is now the spirit being summoned, trapped forever on the other side, doomed to the same cycle of possession that destroyed her. The film ends on this chilling note, the embalmed hand passing to new thrill seekers, and Mia fully consumed by the supernatural force she once thought would save her.